is Japan to serve first in the blue and white, China receiving in the yellow. Yamada gets us underway, and the first chance to side out is China's, but they don't manage to convert. A free ball opportunity though. Ding Xia to the middle, the block touch, and a great rally to start with. And the block, the point goes Japan's way, and that is a big, big start.
We talked about how fast Japan runs their offense, but one of the reasons they're able to do so is because of their relentless defense. Any team playing Japan has to know they're going to continue to keep touches and extend rallies.
It can be an exhausting prospect for any outside or opposite to know you might have to do 2 or 3 swings per point. So Yamada serves again. That's received by Zhuang Yuqing. She's going to swing from 2 out. There's the touch by Ishikawa. Over on the first ball. The slide. Hayashi touched into space. Ni Fing with her first touch. And China just struggling to really assert any pressure. Koga from deep, 2-0.
Watch for Japan to keep getting Koga involved in the offense. Even when she's in the backcourt, she is always a threat, whether in the front or back, and it's still just as fast.
She's up over 200 points for this VNL and closing in on 200 attack points as well. 197 going into this. Oh, that's left! A little bit of setting genius from Ding Xia.
So smart for the setter to go up, act like she's going to set this ball, catches Japan off guard, thinking that ball stays on China's side, but it doesn't.
A little sneak attack. And Hin Yu-yong will serve for China. Good ball into Iwasaki. The angle dug by Zhuang Yuqing. Up off the hands, and Japan can go again. Off the block goes Araki, 3-1.
Araki so lethal on that backslide. This is where this offense becomes difficult. When you have crossing patterns, players going in different zones, this is something they like to run in 2-hitter rotations when they can get the slide going and bring Koga in on the bick through the middle in the backcourt.
Iwasaki, such an awkward serve to deal with. And that's not a great pass. And the 1-foot Yahoo is mishit by Zhuang Yuqing, and this really looking like a good start for Japan now at 4-1.
And this is what Japan does. They continue to keep the pressure on opponents. Again, this is a China team that has not had that much time to practice in these lineups, as most of their starters are back home in China.
9 aces for Iwasaki so far. Make that 10.
Such a tough serve to deal with. The way that she approaches into it, you think it's going one direction. She changes it up and hits it right down that line. China's got things to talk about.
还是心在哪里？心在定一点，好不好？做动作果断一点，变成也是，进攻也是，回防要快一点。我们没打死的时候，我们上网要快。他们也都是被打死以后，他们都是2边球，好吧？有啊，
我来试一下，放松一点没关系，再来就行了。再来没关系，放松一点。来，要没关系。
Yeah, this Iwasaki serve, she's just got the 10th ace there, but it's not necessarily the ace points that are valuable. It's just so difficult to get a good pass on the ball. And this is the task at hand for China. That's better. And the first ball side out of the match.
Siding out quickly is going to be huge for this China team, especially with the passing core that hasn't had a lot of time practicing against each other, or with next to each other rather. It's going to be difficult for them to side out, but they have to do it fast.
Not a great swing by Araki. Tries to get one back on the serve. The tip's good, the pickup's better. Iwasaki. And then the lefty. Hayashi. Improvisation is the key to success.
If you're going to tip against this Japan team, you better be sure that that's going down. Because of how relentless they are, you may not think they're there. At the last second, they'll get under it with a pancake or a great run-through.
Ishikawa next to serve. Ooh, rotation error, China. Straight away, Ding Xia's gone over to Stefano Cesare to ask the question.
And this has been something the referees have really cracked down on in the last week or so, making sure that these players are not leaving before the server makes contact.
Ishikawa, 7-2. Heavy serve, overpassed. And again, it's Araki, who's had a really nice start to this first set.
Yeah, taking control of that front line, and that all starts from the back line. Ishikawa putting in an absolute bullet with his topspin. And not only is it hard, but it's right between the two passers to make them communicate.
Ishikawa can go again. Heavy serve, but a good pass contact. And the tip again, only as far as Iwasaki, but this time, maybe a little impatient when the pancake was required.
That time, the tip not falling short enough, or rather toward the middle of the court. If it's right hit toward the player, the good touch off the block, kind of overran it, thinking she might have to pancake it.
Zhong Yuqing, received by Koga. She's going to swing on this one, looking for touches. China saying no.
China has to continue to be really disciplined on that block against Japan's team because they're a bit undersized. That means this Japan team is going to hit high, going to try to go for hands. If China's low and over, that'll force them to hit out of bounds.
Zhong Yuqing. Float into Koga. All the way over. The block touch is good, and the second touch. And set up an attack. Lovely dig. That's Fukudome. And then off one hand, two hands, and Koga takes Japan up to 9.
Japan's defense working overtime, making some of these balls look so easy that absolutely are not. A lot of hard hits handled so well, and Japan's able to transition that into good offense.
Araki, 3 points in the game so far. Oh, that had to be played. Another good touch from Koga. Too awkward for her to handle.
Good heads-up play by the setter, going up, seeing that high overpass ball. No one in to make a second play on it. Easy put down.
They're going after Zhong Chongying with the serve, but she's just starting to find her passing hands. 5-9. Fukudome. In it goes. Koga. Big swing off the hands of Ding Shiya.
And Koga sees that block so well, even if it's well formed in front of her. Her snap down is so fast that if it's not perfect, she can find it off hands.
Hayashi, third highest scorer for Japan going into this game. Nice and quick to the middle, and Hin Yu-yong.
Great run from the setter. Ding Xia, 16 in yellow, even off the net, allowing that middle attack to happen, showing off her range.
6-10, bit better from China since the timeout. Koga with the tip. Now a chance to make it a 3-point game. Net touch by Iwasaki, and it's another point back. That 4-point lead cut to 3.
And all of a sudden, China's right back in this one. A string of Japanese errors, just getting a little bit too aggressive on that block. Arm touching it on the way down.
Ding Shiya plays her club volleyball at Chemik Police in Poland. Only player in the squad who plays over there. Quick slide, Yamada.
You can tell just how fast that Japanese offense is. It is so difficult to get not only two blockers, but really just one up on it. You see both them diving right inside, not identifying the path of that attack.
Koga. So we all talk about how quick the Japanese offense is and how good their defense is. So every team is preparing for it. It's not a surprise, yet it's still so successful.
Well, even if you know it's going to be so fast, it's still, when you see it live, it's much different. And when you're on the court in a perfect pass situation, it's so tough because you have no idea where the ball's going.
It's fun to watch, that's for sure. That one close to the net, recycled by Ishikawa. Oh, the swing from Iwasaki. We don't see many of those. Rally still going. Koga on the pipe. We love to see it.
And not only is Japan's defense relentless and they get touches, but they get touches that puts the setter in a good position to run this offense. Again, all options available on attack. As a blocker, you have no idea where to go.
Yamada back round from the service line. Iwasaki's there. So Yamada on the set, recycled once more. Ooh, there's that block dropped. It's in.
Great job by China's front line, especially Zheng Yixin closing that up, setting it up well, right with the head on the ball, gets that hand turned right back in, allowing that block to happen. Beautiful finish.
12-9. Here's Hin Yu-yong. On to Hayashi. Oh, yes, Ishikawa unloads.
A beautiful setting decision, having a middle go right next to that outside. You see two blockers in that zone, but they don't know who to go up with because you have the middle attack along with the outside to worry about.
Iwasaki. Another awkward serve, but the pass better. To the middle they go. Iwasaki with the first touch. Beautiful tip, Ishikawa.
That tip's so well placed because it's right in the center of the court. That's around all the defenders. So essentially everyone has to talk about who's going to make a play on that. Just beautifully placed right over that block. See that hole between everyone.
Iwasaki can go again, this time on to Zheng Yu-ching. Oh, that's dropped in. Block goes Japan's way.
And a huge read from the middle. 20 and wide, Araki getting all the way out there. It's a quick set, difficult to do. Good footwork.
Iwasaki can go again. Really taking advantage of this service run. That's overpassed. What a dig. Brilliant from Nifei Fan. Well, that will go down as one for Zheng Yu-ching, but that belongs to Nifei Fan.
China's libero just completely taking control of the court in the back row. This is a player that's experienced. She's traveled with the team every week, and she's ready for some of those plays.
Zheng Yixin has come in to serve. Overpassed, a rare mistake, and Zheng Yu-ching is on hand. Taking China up to 11.
China has to continue that service pressure to knock Japan out of their systems.
Received by Ishikawa. Oh, another block. That is huge. Go Yi.
That's a perfect example of the serve working so well with the block, because the serve knocks them out of system. The blockers can wait on that ball knowing it's going outside, so them working so well together to form a wall.
Gao Yi, two-time best middle in the Chinese league, including this season. It's a good swing though, great recovery, and Hayashi.
Beautiful swing from Hayashi on the outside this time, normally on that right side. She twists her shoulders to adjust that attack.
Ishikawa into the net. We spend a lot of time talking about Koga and Ishikawa, but Hayashi is a really, really important cog in this Japanese wheel.
Yeah, she's been huge, averaging over 10 points a set. Those are not numbers that just come easily, especially against some of the best teams in the world. She's been so consistent.
Is Zheng Yu-ching received by Koga. Another block, but Iwasaki on hand. Koga aiming for the corner and painting the line.
And that's a veteran swing from the captain. Just going up and over that block. It's late, no time to form. Just goes to that high, deep corner. The perfect shot as an outside hitter.
She's now beyond 200 attack points for this season's VNL. Ball on the slide, Ishikawa receives. Koga goes again, and this time a little bit too greedy with the angle.
And that one's got to be pretty close. You can see Koga trying to work that cross-court shot, trying to hit sharper and sharper, just missing a little bit long.
71% attacks in though, that's a decent start. Go Yi. Ishikawa receives, Koga again. She's had a busy few rallies. To the middle, nice and quick, and Hin Yu-yong. 2-point game, China right back in this.
Yeah, and they found ways to side out quicker than I think we anticipated with some players who hadn't played next to each other, especially in that serve receive. That's where you see communication breakdowns, but they look pretty steady.
To Go Yi to serve, fresh off that block. Big stand and deliver approach. So Hayashi scores there. We talked about how you prepare for Japan. You know what you're preparing for, but with China, knowing you're facing a six that haven't played together before. That's got to be tough to prep for.
Yeah, it's difficult because you haven't seen them play, you don't know their tendencies, but also it's a team you know is going to be really fresh. You're coming off of 3 weeks in prelims, you might be a little tired. Not this China team.
Good recovery by Japan. Koga. Touched by Zhuang Yuqing. Oh, well recycled. And we go again. Opportunity now. Oh, the block's good, but the touch better. Swing from deep. Hayashi's there. On the pipe. Ishikawa only as far as Zhuang Yuqing. The swing is good. Zhong Chongying.
China finding ways to outlast Japan defensively, which is so difficult to do. But that backcourt is working so hard to get that ball up for their hitters. And the block doing work up front, getting those touches.
This is a huge effort from China. Is it sustainable? Well, that's an ace serve, and this is a 1-point game.
A beautiful serve right down that line from the setter, Ding Xia. Knocks Japan out of system. They've got a few things to figure out.
Well, in that period between the first and second timeouts, China have taken 16 points to Japan's 13. And that is some turnaround after a very shaky start. But now we've got a contest on our hands. Ding Xia off the back of that ace. Lovely touch though, Yamada. No one at home.
Such a well-placed tip, identifying the outside blocker coming in to help. That allows for a lot of space right behind the block for Nifei Fan to cover.
Important point that for Japan. Koga in search of a break point. Nifei Fan again doing hard work. Oh, good swing. Koga's there, backcourt. Ishikawa blocked. Hayashi on hand. Another tip and another chance for China. Koga defending so well. Ishikawa blocked again. This China block. And now the opportunity. Hin Yu-yong. Again it's Koga. Who's going to put this down? Ishikawa. China claiming that touched the antenna. Referee says no, but off the hands. And Zhong Chongying wins the rally of the match so far.
China's defense has just been so impressive, getting incredible touches up front, and they're transitioning that into beautiful offense. And Zhong Chongying doing incredible work up front.
Don't you love it when this happens? We spent all the pre-show talking about Japan's great defense and how they keep the ball off the floor, and that is exactly what China are doing here. 18-19, great first set. Ishikawa, oh, great block, but what about that by Fukudome? Up comes the chicken wing, and here is the free ball for 19-19. Not yet. Oh, that is a pipe. Koga.
Koga keeps Japan on top. Beautiful run, fast, in-tempo offense. They get this quick middle attack, and you see one-on-one. Koga's winning that every time.
This is exhausting, and it's brilliant. And here's Yamada. Good leave, Zhuang Yuqing.
One thing Japan has to worry about here is they're getting blocked off the court on the outside. They got to keep that offense just a little bit more spread out in these last 5 points to avoid it.
So Wong Wing-Lu is coming into the game. 28-year-old outside, replacing Hin Yu-yong from the service line. Served one ace in the VNL so far. Good service onto Hayashi. Oh, wow! Huge block! Zhuang Yuqing levels at 20.
The solo stuff for the outside hitter. Beautiful read, getting those hands up right through the line of approach. Incredible finish to get it level.
Oh, she loved that too. 20-20. Race to 5 for the first set. How many of you predicted that? Good touch, Gao Yi. And a swing wide. Japan back ahead, but we are onside out as we head into the deep end of set 1.
And this is that serve that China struggled with earlier from Iwasaki, right down that line. Let's see how they recover here.
(21-20), first set. It's a much better pass. A net touch on the China side. Break point Japan in the 20s, and with that, China call the timeout.
完了，你要是打平快的话，你给他传的时候，你要往前迎着打，别等着球过来，明白吗？抢着打，好吧？挺好，挺好啊。
把彩光出来，打下方了。
可以。
20分以上，大家稍微再做仔细一点，然后第一下起高，你第二下上到机会。来有了，来，加油，加油，加油，加油！
It feels as though this first set's going to be really pivotal in the shape of this game overall as we take a look at Koga's stats. What we have learnt is that China are properly in this fixture. Iwasaki gets us back underway with another brilliant point on serve. She has been a thorn in the side, and that could not have been better timed.
Better timed in the little change-up, dropping that one right in front of the passers rather than the deep one she's been hitting.
23-20. Japan back in charge now. Zhong Wuqing with the pass. She's going to swing on this and swing hard enough to get China back on the board.
That was a pivotal point for China to side out. Otherwise, it's set point Japan. Now they have an opportunity to keep closing in.
Cheng Yixing. Makes that one long. Fukudume watched it all the way. And after battling back to 20 all, it's now 3 set points. Service change being made. Ishikawa coming out, Kurogo coming in. Serving for the set, 24-21. That one drilled into Zhong Chongying. Off the hands, and now the chance. High and hard, Hayashi takes the set for Japan, and I'd imagine as they jog around, it is equal parts delight and relief because China really took it to them.
Yeah, China came out really tough. They settled in that in terms of passing about 10-point mark on, and they really made that push in the middle of that set to get that passing on lock. The offense started looking a lot better as well. Those connections shirred up, and at one point it was 20-20. Japan just ended up kind of serving China 2 out of system at the end to get it done, but a really good showing for this China team that I don't think we knew what to expect in terms of how they would come out.
Well, that's it, and one of two things happens now, surely. Either China get the belief that they can compete as we take a look at the score. China 0, Japan 1, the first set finishing 25-21 in Japan's favor. So either China get the belief, or psychology is a weird thing, isn't it? When you get so close, then all of a sudden the set disappears from you. That can have an adverse effect. Here are the stats. Any numbers that stick out to you?
Yeah, you see Japan with a little bit more errors in China, but they were able to score points in different ways. You see the serve, they only had 2 aces, but they were knocking China out of system so often. And then that attack number, 16 to China's 10, and based on how close that set was, China's going to have to find a way to slow that down a little bit better. The blocking was there on the outside, but they need to touch up some other players.
Well, the live update has now gone up 10 whole percent, presented to us by our friends at 1xBet. 71% in favor of Japan, 29 in favor of China. Of course, that's 61-39 favored for Japan, but going into this, 4 of the last 5 games have gone China's way. In the VNL era, they're actually 3 wins apiece, so whoever edges this one will be ahead in terms of this great competition. But lots of talking points there, but ultimately the first set going the direction we probably thought it would, and probably by a score we thought it would as well.
I mean, look where China's attacking a lot of these balls, so many from the outside. What that tells you is how out of system China is. They're forcing a lot of balls outside because that's their only outlet when the pass is off the net.
In terms of being in system and out of system as a receiving team, how much say do you have in that?
In terms of how well you're passing, ideally you want it in front of the 10-foot line. Around 60% is pretty good. Haven't checked at the numbers, but I would assume China's pretty low, probably around 40% or so if that many balls are going outside.
Well, it improved as the set went on, didn't it? Because right at the beginning, the serve receive was all over the place, and Japan did enough in those early exchanges to ultimately get the win. Araki running at 67%. A couple of blocks as well. And Zhuang Yuqing only running at 33%, but she seems to be really busy. She's the one who started to pass well. Got a really good block on Koga, who is currently the game's top scorer on 6 points, all from attacks. It will be China to serve first in the second set, trailing by 1-0 in this knockout quarterfinal. Fukudome receives, and the dig by Nifei Fan. He's had a good game. Oh, great swing. Finds the gap. Zhuang Yuqing.
Beautiful swing from the outside, splitting the defenders in the backcourt. You can watch Japan. They play kind of shallow in defense because they know China's not going to hit it straight down. So they're playing inside the court.
Xu Ying serves again onto Ishikawa. Good block touch. Chance for two. Chance taken. Hin Yu-yong.
We didn't see very many middle attacks from China's side throughout that first set. One, because the pass wasn't there. They also were killing balls on the outside. What China needs to do is get that middle attack involved because that'll open things up for the outside later.
So a breakpoint start for China. 2-0. And that's left by Ishikawa. High-risk serve, not getting the reward on this occasion. Yamada. Ace service. 2-2.
Beautiful serve, just dropping it right in front of the passer. Japan's been working China short and deep, but throwing a deep serve, followed right by a short serve to keep the passers on their toes.
That's 10th ace of the tournament for Yamada. That wasn't a great pass either, but recovered well. Searching for hands. Zhuang Yuqing leaving herself a lot of work to do. Three points in a row for Japan. And they lead for the first time in the set. That's a better ball in. Opting for the slide, the touch, brilliant by Hayashi. Ishikawa. Is there? No. And we're going to have a challenge, though. First challenge of the match. Japan looking for a block touch. China not admitting to it. And, of course, with the green card system in place, honesty being the best policy, usually, if there is a block touch, we get the admission. However, Japan, in the first week in Antalya, did not admit to anything. There were some absolutely huge block touches, and as soon as we saw them on tape, we were like, come on!
I think the ones that are a bit obvious, you obviously want to admit, but the ones that maybe just scraped you, I'm not saying anything.
Oh, but there's $30,000 up for grabs.
Yeah, that's very fair. Could be the difference between a win and a loss, though.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Always choose glory over cash, right? But there was no block touch. Proof that Chinese players are as honest as the day is long, and we get back on with it. 3-3, good start. And there's definitely a touch on that. Ishikawa.
I like the decision from Iwasaki to go right back to her outside, the one who had just made the error, getting her confidence just back up.
Here is Iwasaki serving. And China will be very pleased when they get her off the service line. But they've got some blocking to do first. Oh, and there it is! Go Yi with the kill block. Ends the Iwasaki serve run and levels the score.
Great read from Gawi, getting into her middle. You see those steps forward so she can take away the middle attack and the outside. Great work.
Second block of the game for her. Tip. Oh, Ishikawa. Another beauty.
So well placed on the outside. You can see, watch how far back the libero is. Drops right in front of her.
Here is Ishikawa to serve. A touch by Iwasaki. Swing, block, off the head of Iwasaki. Koga can't make it stick. You've got to tip better than that against Japan. Koga again. What a point. Swing down the line, off the head of Iwasaki to keep it alive. And that's the break point for Japan.
That's how good this defense is. It doesn't have to be an arm. Sometimes you use your head, use a foot, it doesn't matter. Japan finds ways to keep that ball up.
Get that on the highlights reel. Ishikawa at 6-4. Nifei Fan receives. Hard swing, Yu Qing.
Better swing from China on the outside, going for those high hands and out of system play. They know the block is going to be there. Just swing for fingertips.
Is that one of the risks? Because you mentioned Japan defending really shallow. Is that one of the risks, if you do defend shallow, that you're not going to be able to make those plays?
Yeah, sometimes if your block touch gets a good play on it, as Japan hits that ball out of bounds, sometimes it's really difficult to chase it down because you don't have time, you're a little bit too far up.
6-6, both teams having those break points cancelled. Take a look at that one, wasn't far wide. Yu Qing. Koga receives all the way across. And the China blocking has been a difference.
Japan needs to continue to swing high. They know this China's block is big in front of them. Doesn't matter which pin it's on. Continue to swing for those high hands because going right down into it, it's going to come back at you fast.
It's a big height differential. Zhong Chongying, 193. Over there on that side, Koga doing well with the tip, but it's dug. And a free ball offered up by Nifei Fan. Better. Smart hitting by Hayashi.
And a beautiful tip. This ball nearly going straight down. Sometimes with tips, you see them go up before they go down. This one's so good, it was kind of just thrown straight down.
Araki. Well, that caught the draft on the way through. And China back ahead. We are onside out in this second set. And Gao Yi in that stand and deliver style. Koga, no stopping that.
It's a great side out from Japan, and China has to serve just a little bit tougher to take Japan out of that rhythm. Perfect pass, they have all options available. It's difficult to stop.
Overpassed. Oh, but not taken advantage of. And then nice and quick into Hin Yu-yong.
Japan's block in a good position to make this play. Those hands just not pressed over enough when it counted.
And that's a frustrating one for Japan, isn't it? The serve's good, they draw the overpass, but don't win the point. Ding Shi-ya, Koga's full length. And that's sent into Nifei Fan. Heavy hands, Hayashi over the head. Koga to tidy up. Well, if you're going to swing high, you need to find a touch. They can't do that, and it's another breakpoint lead for China. Ishikawa receives. Good angle.
A better side out for Japan, getting that pass right up on the money, allowing that middle attack to run, and Yamada has a one-on-one, goes right through the seam.
Koga. Shia. Getting off the hands, those block touches so important. And Koga on the pipe, dug by Ding Xia. And now Chong Yong off the hands. And you know what? If you defend the Koga pipe, you deserve the point. Well played, China.
Now, it's so difficult to defend because of how fast it is. It's almost always one-on-one, so defenders just got to be ready to dig in back there. Great transition play for China.
And they maintain that 2-point lead. Zhong Chongying. Ace! That has touched the ground. Fukudome caught short.
Such an impressive serve, dropping right in front of the passers, now working Japan short and deep.
Timeout called, 12-9.
So much movement on that ball, too.
Right then, important words had by Japan. This is a great contest, and we are coming back in off the back of a smooth ace. All of the things we expected Japan to do well, China have done impeccably in this second set so far. And after the big build-up, we have a service error.
And one better turnaround that we've seen from China, aside from that, is in the serve and pass battle. They're passing a lot better and putting a lot more pressure on Japan in the serve.
Yamada. That one floated in to Zhuang Yuqing. They've gone quick again. And this tempo really working for China.
And the tempo working because the pass is so good. China's got to up it just a few notches from the serve to try to knock China out because their passing has improved immensely.
Hin Yu-yong. 3-point lead. Another service error. What I will say is, there'll be one person in the arena who probably wants China to win this set. And after this point, I'll tell you exactly who it is.
I'm on the edge of my seat, come on.
You know exactly who it is. Here's Iwasaki into the net. That is Anne-Marie Anderson, because she's got to interview the coaches at the end of the second set, and it's always much easier to do it when the game is at 1-1 as opposed to 2-0, because you've got one really happy coach and one really not happy coach, particularly here, because it is knockout volleyball. You lose and you are cooked. You're on the flight home. That's received down by Zhong Chongying. Chance to extend the lead, and that is cooked by Zhuang Yuqing.
Fantastic set to the outside. That speed allows that seam in the block for her to hit. Good identification that seam is available and just barrels right through it.
But on the bright side for either of these teams, if they do lose, they are qualified for the Olympic Games as Koga comes through on the pipe.
That pipe has just been absolutely lethal with how fast it is, how high she gets up there. Again, it's difficult to read, and China's been leaving it one-on-one. It's easy for her to score.
Well, the one they defended, they managed to pick the point up on, but they'll still set it. It's such a great play. Ishikawa, heavy serve. Oh, yes! Single swing by Koga. Araki steps out.
Taking complete control up at the net. And a good communication between those two players. Koga knowing that she's on top of the setter, she's going to be the one to take the swing.
Right, 13-15. Ace service. It is a different dynamic when Ishikawa's back there.
It's been giving China fits all game long. We talk about how good she is offensively, but man, from that back line with this topspin serve, it's given every team fits.
球往上扬得起，好吧？反正球很规律，最着急，你呢放的太低了， 手心呢抬得太高了，好吧？再有一个注意点接外球，好吧？没问题了，16号位球多啊，16号位。
注意他后面吃这个呀，可以。没关系，再来这轮打错人啊，耐心一点，不能直接停。来，打球。
Really useful three-point service run here for Japan, dragging them right back into this set. We've moved from 12-9 to 15-14. And Ishikawa will certainly want to get that attack percentage up. Just 21% she's running at. But connecting with the serve really well. That's a better pass though, and as a result, the side out from Go Yi.
China's middles have been so effective when they can get him involved in the offense, especially on the back pin. Almost every time it's been one-on-one, they're scoring at such a high clip.
I have a question to ask you about that when we get a minute.
I'm on the edge of my seat again, come on.
Come on, I'm just relying on your expertise here. Everyone's learning, especially me. Koga receives. And she's going to swing on this too. Again, a bit greedy. So, with that middle attack, that slide attack, it's a really obvious movement, yet Araki hasn't gone with her and it's left her on the one-on-one. When it's such an obvious move, why isn't Araki thinking, right, I'm going over there with her?
Well, that slide's typically run on a perfect pass, and as a blocker, you can't make guesses, otherwise you're automatically leaving an attacker one-on-one. Araki's disciplined, and that she's not going to leave until she knows where the ball's going.
I'm just thinking Top Gun, never leave your wingman. That one, again, is missed. On the edge, looking for that angle on the 3-meter line.
That's close.
It's really close. But of course, with the cameras as they are now, you cannot challenge that. Here comes Airi. First time we've seen her in the game today. Brought on to serve. Ni Fei Fan receives. Chong Ying. Oh, that's missed too. Game on again. 17-16.
And Airi coming in and doing her job as a serve stub, coming in, knocking the other team out of system, forces that error out of bounds.
She spent a good bit of time in your part of the world, didn't she? And she is doing brilliantly here, off the bench to level. 17-17, here we go.
Airi's such a great utility player. They've been playing her at middle, but she really could be hitting anywhere on the court. She's played outside, right side, now we're seeing her in a serving role. So great.
Well, that ace takes her up to 49 points for the VNL. And here's the dig by Ishikawa to take the lead. Koga, never in doubt. Japan 18, China 17.
Such a beautiful swing from Koga on the outside. Everything's facing cross court, and she rips this ball across her body down the line.
Airi again. Oh, she hits the corner. What a service. 2-point lead, China timeout, and Airi has turned this set around.
And that is just called clutch. A serving sub coming in, knocking him out of system, getting an ace, another out of system, and then another ace. Perfect example of an impact player.
那面他一抛球的话，你往这边找啊，你被防往这张太明这边靠，好吧？咱们把一传先接起来，别着急。那个不好的球，大家都准备调整。那调整时候仔细一点，稍微近一点，好吧？能发上力。
4号位给我稍微慢一点，高一点，往外拉一点。还有是短球还是什么？对，4号位给我高一点。
Airi, full of confidence, gets to go again. Having given Japan the lead, 19-17 here in set 2. Oh, and the slide works beautifully, Go Yi. And it felt like China really needed that.
Yeah, that was a really big side out and a good pass and adjustment from Ni Fei Fan, the libero for China, nailing that pass right out of the timeout.
So with that, Airi leaves the court. And we've got a 1-point game. Koga opts for the tip, over on the first ball. Helped over, now chance to level. It's a good swing and a good touch by Iwasaki. Koga from the 3. Takes the heat off it. Oh, what a touch! Fukudome chases! Koga, backcourt, somehow doesn't take the net out. Oh, again, outstanding, and Koga kills it. Ishikawa backcourt. Japan lead by 2, and look at the reaction from these guys.
Such a sigh of relief on Japan's side because that defense has been absolutely outstanding. Ishikawa taking complete control back there to keep that ball alive.
What a chase.
Sacrificing your body back
Yes.
there, thrown it all over.
Yeah, this court might look good, but trust me, it is not a soft landing for these guys. Here's Kurogo. On as another serving replacement, and Hinyu Yong. How have you done that?
And what allowed this to happen was the front court setter didn't attack that ball, which drew the middle in to block that, leaving that attacker one-on-one.
What a contest. Dinshia dropped in a bit shorter. Oh, but Koga responds so well.
And that was a rotation that Japan struggled with earlier with that stack all the way over to the left. Even out of system on this pass, Koga did a great job putting it away to get out of that as soon as possible.
She is up to 13 points in this game now, all from attacks. Nife Fan overpasses, Ishikawa's there. And once again, when we get to the business end, it's Japan who are pushing on.
And Japan gets better as these sets have gone on. China started really fast, but they've started taking a dip here toward the end of the set.
Another ace, and once again China's serve receive in disarray. A bad leave by Nife Fan.
Japan knows that these are new players playing next to each other, and what they're doing a great job of is just going right in between the seams of all of them.
Koga, better pass again. Oh, they opt for the slide. It's Ching Yixing who's run it.
Nearly took the setter out.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's a bad one.
Shake it off. Don't let them see your pain.
Shorter with the serve. Ishikawa receives. Oh, the slide this time. Yamada makes it work. It looks very different to the one that China have run.
Not oftentimes do you see the middle blocker send a roll shot to the middle. It tells you just how good the ball control is for Japan.
So Watanabe coming on as a blocking substitute on set point. Yamada to serve. Not a great reception. Work to be done here. Ishikawa can't kill it with the block. Jong Yu Chong. Koga backcourt. Here we go to win the set. Ishikawa can't. Nife Fan. Oh, that's really well done. Zheng Yixing, she's come off the bench and she's kept China in the set.
That's what China needs, big swings in these big moments. They're not going to win this set tipping. They have to bring the pressure.
So Wong Wing-Lu has replaced Hinyu Yong. She's still smiling, she believes. What can Wong Wing-Lu do here? Still set point, 21-24. Ayari swings for the set, can't make it count, might get another chance. Ishikawa blocked, touched, and China's still alive. Until they're not. And who got the last touch on that? Was that Iwasaki? One of the shortest players on the court, rising highest and winning the joust. Japan lead by 2 sets.
Iwasaka just 175, small but mighty up front.
Yes.
Using those strong setting shoulders to her advantage. What made this so good, she was the second one up on this play, which allows her more momentum headed in to push it down. Man, this second set, China started absolutely on fire. At one point had a 2-3 point lead, but Japan never lost hope. They kept that relentless defense, which looked like it really fueled that offense up front too.
Really gave them a scare, and I suppose that's a big character test for Japan, isn't it? Right, don't go anywhere. We've got a slightly longer break between sets 2 and 3. For those of you who might be joining us in the VNL for the first time, China trailing Japan here by 2 sets to 0, 25-21, 25-21. Firstly, if you are joining us for the first time, where have you been? We've had a great tournament up until now, but You're here for the finals, that's the main thing. But in between sets 2 and 3, we will hear from the coaches as we just take a look at the stats first. Any of those numbers that you like or don't like?
Yeah, those 4 serve points for Japan. They are serving China off the court. China's got to settle in and serve receive to fix it.
All right, I think we're going to hear from Japan.
Coach, other
first.
than the
Again,
service pressure, what has been going well for you?
Well, so far so good. Okay, you know, our serving is working so far, but we'll see for the next set.
Okay, but how can you add a different look for the third set? What is there anything you want to see differently?
Well, you know, obviously we try to serve kind of control to them, you know, so their offense is going to in an out of system. So that's why we try to weaken defense easier.
Arigato.
Thank you very much.
Serve and pass. It is always serve and pass, Anne-Marie, but great to hear from Gen. He's been absolutely brilliant with us for this entire championship, and we really appreciate him. Well, that is Japan. Of course, they're going to be the happier of the two teams, but China with work to do, and they have shown that they've got the quality to push Japan all the way. What are they going to be working on in set 3, and hopefully for them beyond? Anne-Marie.
Coach, what adjustments do you need to make for that next set? What can you do differently?
下一局要做什么样的调整？
下一局我们先要把一传稍微再加强一点。上一局我们阶段性一传出现了点问题，不过这个不会影响我们队伍。下一局我们会加强这个一传方面的问题。
Next set we will do better in reception because the last side is not very well the last balls, so we need to do better later.
Thank you, Coach. Short and sweet.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, and thank you to the coaches. Right, we're going to take a look at the live update presented by 1xBet. It's going up 10% per set, 61, 71, 81. And the 1 on the end is very important because Japan are just 1 set away from a guaranteed shot at a medal here in the Volleyball Nations League, Emily.
It's so important for this Japan team, especially with a Team China, that it's a different look than what we saw throughout the entire prelims, a new lineup completely. Japan had to come in, get this win right out of the gates, and get some rest before a big matchup.
Setter contact for China, that's improved massively, isn't it? 65%, and it showed.
Yes, massive improvement. We saw China insist them at a higher clip. That middle was run at a higher clip too, which proved to be so effective. Japan, on the other hand, a little bit lower. We see about 50% in that target zone, 41% in the mid zone. Japan struggled in the beginning of the set with its serve and pass, but they got better as set 2 went on.
Is it possible for China to win this game, honestly, in your heart of hearts?
I think this team should come out like they have nothing to lose, because they literally do have nothing to lose. This is a matchup where you expect Japan to win. They've been rolling through opponents during prelims of the VNL. This is a China team that has not had very many days to practice next to each other. It's essentially the B team. They have absolutely nothing to lose, so Japan could get a little complacent where China says, hey, let's just give them all we've got.
It's Hin Yu-yong attacking at 75%. Those are good numbers, but of course, if you're being set in the middle, you're hoping that it's a sure thing. Ishikawa running at just 23%, but her contribution incredible. She was one of the players from the service line that really helped that second set go back in Japan's favor. And of course, they've used the bench well too, haven't they? But the ever-present, the almost ever-present Koga is attacking like a demon. She's the top scorer in the match so far. She's running hot, and when she runs hot, the rest of the team tend to follow. Set 3, must-win set for China. If it goes Japan's way, they are semi-finalists. The first swing by Zhong Chongying. She seems to have been at the heart of a lot of what's gone well for China.
Yeah, this is the captain of this team this week. They're going to look to her in these moments when they're down 0-2, backs against the wall, for a player like that to get him out of it.
She's one of the players who was part of the squad who won the gold medal in Rio in 2016. That was a long time ago. It's still making a big difference to this team, who are really digging in. Oh, someone's got to play that! Hin Yu-yong, what are you doing?
Yeah, so frustrating when you get a good up like that, a good read, you pop this ball up, someone else makes a play on it, You gotta have someone come in and call it. Now this is where China has to make that change. Laser focus and keep that ball off the ground.
1-1. Iwasaki into the net.
One thing China has to do really well this set is just be the aggressors, both from the service line and on attack. They found that Japan's picking up every single tip on their side, so just keep swinging.
Hinyu-Yong. Received by Ishikawa. She's going to swing on this cross court, and Ding Shiya can't keep it up.
That fast tempo offense working so well. Ishikawa this time coming on. It looks like a slide attack based on how fast it is.
Here is Ishikawa. 1-ace serve in the match. That's received by Zhong Yuqing. To the middle they go, and the touch by Gao Yi. Oh, China. You have to be better.
Yeah, those are the communication errors that you just can't have on your side. Yes, you have new players playing next to each other, but at the end of the day, someone's got to speak up and call it out.
One of those in a set is okay. 2 in a set, not ideal. 2 in 3 points.
Very unideal.
Oh, wow. But it's returned. Both liberos getting one off the head. The cross-court swing by Hayashi. Oh, but Ni Fei-fan using a Fei-fan face.
China just taking hits left and right. First have those communication errors, and then Ni Fei-fan's getting one right to the dome.
Ishikawa. A better pass. Now the chance to side out. But it's not clean, and this not the start that China wanted. That makes up for it, though. That is a big block, and there have been a few of those.
The block for China has been one thing that has been really effective, especially on the pins. They're doing a great job moving side to side, getting there in time.
Well, sometimes it just takes the middle to clean things up, and that's what Go Yi did there. Speaking of cleaning up, Koga.
Koga's had a lot of success right down the line. The blockers blocking her cross court, that opens up so much space for her to hit straight through.
Airi on court, another good serve from her. Chong Chong Ying receives. They opt for the slide, and the dig by Iwasaki. Hayashi just floats that one in, a little bit passive. And a complete miss hit by Cheng Yixing. Yeah, footwork was all over the shot there, wasn't it? Never looked in control.
China kind of looking all out of sorts here to start this third set. They have to make that switch now if they want to come back.
Airi. Oh, that's a better swing. Venomous from Zhuang Chuying.
The outsides have gotten a lot of production for China. They've been out of system at a decent clip throughout this match, especially in that first set. But they're getting a lot of swings, and they're trying to claw their way out of it.
She's up to 10 points now. 9 attacks and 1 block. No aces yet. Left-handed by Koga. Ni Fei-fan receives. That's a little back spinner. It's not going to trouble Japan. But a rare mistake by Koga. Just putting that too close to the net. Hayashi can't do anything with it.
Yeah, this ball just a little bit too tight on the net.
1 point game. Koga. Lovely swing.
And because Koga's been hammering that line so much, now China's using a rotation defense on her with 2 defenders attacking that line. That leaves a huge space in the middle of the court for her to swing at.
Hayashi. It's received by Cheng Yixing. Oh, the tip, the dig. Hayashi. Then from back court, Ishikawa. And that is that defense that we spend so much time talking about.
Yeah, so good in transition. I mean, they just pick absolutely everything up. Again, if you're going to tip against Japan, it better be perfect, because otherwise they're going to transition it into that.
Hayashi, 3-point lead. Overpassed on the serve. Koga all the way across. And Yamada does the rest.
A good finish for Japan. Now to extend that lead even further. Now up 3 points. Working those lines well. China calls a timeout.
发球也行，打走了以后抱完圈慢一点，把节奏现在慢下来，然后正回发球，好吧？没关系。后面点节奏就可以了，各自到各自的位置。
飞，大的位置，你要压住，不是，不到位的被飞，
进攻要积极，反击的时候进攻要积极点，不能站着看，好吧？来，
有的。
And we continue. China really felt like they needed a good start to this set. They just haven't got it. They're now trailed by 3. Hayashi, service error coming out of that timeout. 9-6. Here's Go Yi. 3 blocks for Go Yi. No aces yet, though. She served well, but Japan have sided out well, and Koga takes Japan up to 10.
Beautiful side out from Japan. Great pass, leads the setter, and even with 2 blockers up front, that's got to be closed up there.
Koga looks like she stopped playing games now, doesn't she? She's like, right, I want this one done and dusted. Let's get to the semi-finals. Come on.
I want to get dinner and go to bed.
Nah, she wants to watch Thailand versus Brazil like the rest of us. Net touch by Japan. So Stefano Cesare there, the second referee. He's got his Olympic rings tattooed on his arm because he's heading to Paris, and that puts him in a very small group of referees who've done Olympic beach and indoor volleyball. So huge congratulations to him, and some congratulations to Ding Shiya, who gets a little bit of luck off the net. She'll say it was deliberate.
The beautiful serve right at the top of the tape causes that ball to just fall in a dead zone.
Ishikawa. Oh, monster. That is huge. Hin-Yu Yong. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-point game.
Most of China's blocks have come from the outside. When Japan's out of system, that ball they know is going out there, and that block is so well formed.
Fukudome receives. Ishikawa gets to go again. Further off the net so she can recycle. Koga! Another backcourt beauty from the captain.
China looked like they knew she was getting the ball this time, but they ran Koga back more toward the right side of the court rather than up through the middle, just varying up that offense again a little bit.
Every time it feels like one team is really going to pull away in any of the 3 sets, there's always been a way of reeling them in, and that's what China have managed to do here. The 4-point game, now a 1-point game.
But China trying to find ways to battle back. These outsides have really been putting in work for them.
Received by Ishikawa. Oh, it's gone straight down a yellow cul-de-sac. And we are tied.
China's block again, and they're out of system. They form this so well up front, going up at the same time, forming a beautiful wall, hands pressed over.
Mr. Masayoshi, well, he didn't look happy then. He'll be even less happy now. John Chong-Ying serves the ace. China lead, Japan timeout.
But China looked almost dead and out of it at the start of this set, but now a little bit of life to this team.
Game on. And in that period between the first timeout and the second timeout, China 7 points to Japan's 2. That is a big, big turnaround, and John Chong-Ying played a large part in that. On to Hayashi. Japan in search of the side out. Not yet. Zhong Yu-Qing. Oh, very nice. Airi out there on the edge.
A great run from Japan. Beautiful ball. Allows that slide to happen again. This offense has been so balanced and spread out. That slide has been tough to stop.
Service errors do not help the team serving in tight sets like this. Iwasaki, particularly because her serve has really troubled China.
It's so important as this match has been pretty close up until about the 20-point mark. Errors become so important.
In Yu-Yong. Fukudome receives. Hayashi, oh, straight into the block. Too passive. China shut it down. Cheng Yixing. And that's the breakpoint lead for China.
That's probably a ball that maybe you just want to send up to Koga in the backcourt. It's been effective, whereas the outsides have struggled to get past the block.
As you can see there from the players landing, there are huge height differentials, and sometimes for Japan that does become an issue. No issue there though for Ishikawa.
We talk about that speed versus physicality. Now this China team, not necessarily the tallest, but against this Japan team that's very undersized, they do have the height advantage, and that's where you're seeing play out in terms of those blocks when it's there.
Ishikawa serves. Oh, that swing from the middle. That pickup by Fukudome, and Koga off the hands, and Japan square it.
I mean, what an up in the backcourt. Oh. Fukudome, incredible ball to allow that transition to happen. She has been incredible.
Well, both her and Kojima have been outstanding all tournament, and the fact that only one of them is going to go to the Olympics is a tough selection call. Oh, Airi, very close.
Yeah, Airi in the right position to make this play, just not pressed over quite enough. The setter, rather. Or Hayashi, opposite.
Again, 1-7-3, she gets up. That is hugely impressive. Another good serve, Fukudome overpasses, down it goes, Gao Yi. And I think that pump of the fist by Ding tells you exactly what that means to China. (16-14). Koga receives. Oh, great touch. And the block by Airi. No one at home.
You see they're talking about blocking assignments after. It didn't necessarily matter because she's up in time. Beautiful reach back over to shut it down.
She's been brought in. She's made a really good contribution. That's 4 points now, but she scored attacks, blocks, and serves. And here she is serving again, searching for that baseline. In fact, it's only her, Zhang, and no, that's it. They're the only ones who've ticked all three boxes in this match so far. Zhong Yu-Qing, 17-15, 17-16. Hayashi, 6 points, all from attacks so far. Asked a few questions with that serve. Oh, and that's left well short by the captain.
And now a string of errors kind of on both sides. It becomes so important to limit them in a back and forth battle like this. When it's been so close, you have to manage your side.
Fukudome with the touch. Koga for the lead. Laser beams that one at Zhong Yu-Qing.
As this set gets closer and closer to the end, look for both sides to go to their attackers that they go to most often. So, of course, for Japan, that's going to be Koga. She has been lighting it up all match long.
Hayashi in shorter this time, so Gao Yi receives. Oh, what a swing! Back court! Zhong Yu-Qing!
Haven't seen too many backcourt attacks on China's side. A great decision to throw it in here late in the set. Get it going.
So the change being made. Gao Yi coming off. And she's replaced by Wong Wing Lu at the service line. Floated into Hayashi. Here's Koga. Oh, another excellent angle. Even a chunk of the net couldn't stop that one.
A beautiful set from Iwasaki on the run. Kind of a side set to the outside, but still gets a tempo that Koga wants to put it away.
Here is Koga. That's received by Cheng Yixing. Oh, lovely touch. Here's Ishikawa. Can she finish it off? Not yet. Ni Fei Fan feeds it in. Opting for the backcourt again, but Koga's there. Ishikawa. Lovely touch backcourt. Zhuang Yuqing. Down the line. Is there a touch? No. Zhong Chongying has missed everything, and Japan up to 20. China are going to challenge this. They think there might have been a touch, but they're using it as a patented chime out as well.
Now both sides do have one timeout left. Based on that live look, it didn't quite look like a touch, but also just an opportunity to settle your team.
No, that's missed by some distance. Worth noting as well that since the game started, this place has filled up. The atmosphere is amazing.
It's only going to get better and better as Thailand and Brazil face off in a few hours.
It certainly is. And there are supporters outside hours before as well, just desperate to catch a glimpse of the players like Koga. And it's looking like she's going to be here for a little while longer. Oh, what a block! Hin Yu-yong. Oh, hang on. Is that kept up? We're going to replay that point.
I whistle. I whistle.
Oh, Zhu Hikang has whistled the block
Now,
break.
I
Japan's
whistle.
dig.
Okay, I whistle.
Standing, Ding Xia thinks that China should have won the point.
Yes. Yes. I whistle. Okay. Okay. I show the replay. Okay, tell. Too late, yes. Yes. Yes, I show the replay.
So the replay's been seen. The ball was kept up. It was exceptional from Japan. China could have challenged ball on the floor. However, the chance has gone. The scoreboard doesn't change. It's 2018 and Koga can serve again. China really looking for this side out now. And they get it. Zhong Chongying. They will feel that's justice.
That's a much-needed side out for China, especially after kind of a frustrating call on their side. They needed that side out right away to stay in it.
And they are right back in it as well. 19-20. Can they win this point on serve? Ishikawa receives. Koga, monster block! What a play by Hin Yu-yong! And no doubt about that one.
The solo stuff up front, that's what's going to get your team going in this time when you need it most, and you're down 2 points. You're tied up.
Great read by Hin Yu-yong. Ishikawa off the hands. Now, is that an example of what you were talking about? As we get towards 20, teams resort to type, and they know that Koga's going to be on the pipe. So if Hin Yu-yong backs herself, then she gives herself a huge opportunity for her and the team.
Yeah, definitely. You know that go-to attackers for both sides. Normally you're going to go toward them a little more as that ball falls. Another ace on Japan's side.
Don't leave that one, China. Watanabe serves the ace, and once again, China with concrete blocks, watching it go down.
站位太往前了，他现在没把我们前提，我们还往前站，好吧？先稳稳当当把一传接好，我们现在可以打，好吧？都别着急，心再沉一点啊！先接一传，啊，没关系啊。
打个平坐，
努力后卫后区啊！
滚！对。
这边跑速点，然后在这位啊。
加油！
Oh, disaster for China. They've done so much, so well to make this a contest. They level at 20-20, and then they all stand still as once again a Japan service substitution rises to the occasion. Watanabe serves a 22-20. But that's a great swing by Chong Ying.
A much needed side out on Japan's side, or China's side rather. Out of system play, they handle that well.
We just saw one of the great beards, by the way, in the crowd. Absolutely outstanding. 21-22. Ishikawa. Straight down the line. Awesome composure. Starts with the pass from Koga, and they are 2 points away.
Japan's been going after that line, especially when the setter's up front. Watch for them to do it again.
Iwasaki. 23-21. Floats that one into Nifei Fan. To the middle, Fukudomi's there. Ishikawa looks for the touch, doesn't get the touch. Is the challenge going to come? No. Oh, it is now. Better late than never.
It's like a last-second challenge.
Is there time? Do you know what? Credit to Juhee Kang there. She did ask the question. A lot of referees aren't like that. If you don't admit it straight away, you're not getting your green card. But China say no. Send it to the screens. Oh, watch the pinky there.
Yeah.
Does that move?
Tell with the tape. Yeah, I guess not.
Well, there is a block touch. It's been awarded. So it is match point. With that, Hagashi is going to come out. Araki is coming in. So it's a block substitution for what they hope will be the final points of the match. This is a big front court now. Airi's there, Araki's there, and they've got Ishikawa as well. And Iwasaki serving at 24-21 for a place in the semi-finals. And this is about as silent as this crowd have been. Got to make sure that everything's right. That the substitution is logged. That everybody's happy. But it just adds to the tension. Massive moment for Iwasaki as well. She knows this serve's got to be good. And what about those 6 the other side of the net? This reception has to be perfect. They've got to give themselves an opportunity to side out. They don't want to get into a long rally. They don't want to get into an arm wrestle. They want to save the match point once, twice, 3 times. But the suspense is an absolute killer.
After one of these long delays, you got to hit that good serve right out of the gates. Don't leave that door cracked open for China.
Well, they've left it open a few times, but when it's got to this part of the set, they've always found a way. So far, 25-21, 25-21. They've got the opportunity here to do the same again and book their place in the semi-finals. Japan never won a VNL medal, of course. China got to the final last year. Lost out to Turkey, so the silver medalists could be heading out in the quarterfinals. Plenty of Japan supporters. What I love about coming to places like Thailand is, yes, they love the team from Thailand and they will support them, but they just love all the superstars of the game as well.
And they just love the game in general. They want to come out to watch some good matches, and they know, especially in a VNL final, they're going to get some good matches.
They certainly are. And we've got another one coming today as well. Brazil versus the host. Brazil on a VNL record run, the first team to ever go undefeated in the pool stage. They face the host Thailand, who didn't actually finish in the top 8, but by virtue of the fact that they were hosting the finals, they find themselves here. And I tell you what, if they could pull a rabbit out of the hat, then that would be absolutely remarkable. But we'll be bringing you that one live, so don't go anywhere. Back to the action, the whistle's gone. Iwasaki serving for the match, 24-21. Away we go. Oh, right on the net, tape, rescued and down! Oh, it's in, and Cheng Yixing, by the smallest of margins, has given China a lifeline.
And what a save by the setter, Ding Xia, going up, reaching for this one, nearly an overpass. Saves that ball.
We love a one-handed set as well, don't we? We love it. So out goes Wang Winlu. Hin Yu-yong to stay alive. In it comes Fukudome, Iwasaki, Ishikawa! Japan are in the semi-finals. Last year's finalists are out. All their energy goes to the Paris Olympics, and Japan can start